another experience that's been a lot of fun to watch here so far. We're going to keep it in the Western Conference. We're going to take a look at Dereck Lively here for a minute or two. Looking at Dereck Lively's performance so far, really encouraging. And for me personally, it's been a little surprising. Uh, Big men that come into the NBA, they're going to have a tough time adjusting, just like point guards. Those two positions are really tough to get a grasp on, especially early on. But Dereck Lively has come in for the Mavericks, and almost from day one, I think it was opening night, he had a double-double, a nationally televised game. I can't remember what it was, who they played right now. But I mean, from the get-go, he just understood what the Mavs needed from him. Roll hard to the rim, block some shots, secure rebounds. And I think it's really fitting that his last name is Lively, because when you watch him on the court, you just get a sense like, man, he's such a live body. He's so active. He's not afraid to get physical with other big men. He's not afraid to, get down and dirty, get a loose ball. That's what the Mavs needed. They needed a player that's not afraid to get dirty, do the little things on the court. And sure, he's not a prolific scorer, 8.7 points per game. That's ninth in all rookies. But in the major statistics to where he should be making an impact, he is. Second in rookie rebounds, 7.6. Third in rookie blocks, 1.4 per game. He's in the 98th percentile, Avi, if we go to Clean the Glasses metrics, in 2-point percentage, 73%. When you look at his rim percentage, his rim accuracy, 78%, 90th percentile. Okay, yeah, I understand. He's a big man. He's supposed to be finishing well. But to be in that type of territory already so early is really encouraging. It just makes the Mavs offense. There's that thumbs up again. Not sure how I did that. But it just really just kind of amplifies the Mavericks offense even more because he's able to be so accurate. He's a destructive rim runner, active rebounder. The Mavs are better on defense a little bit in part because of what he's doing on the court. You look at the mark between this year and last year, it's not a huge difference. It's like 0.7 less points per game. But that increases their defensive efficiency from 24th last season to 16th this season. Because, of course, teams are allowing more points per game. So if you decrease your defensive efficiency from year over year just a little bit, it can really kind of put you much higher in terms of your ranking in the NBA. So that's how I feel about him so far. He's really been a pleasant surprise for me. I guess I was pretty high on him, but not necessarily like out of the gate making a huge impact for the Mavericks. I was wary of him starting for this team that has clear playoff and championship aspirations, but he's done an awesome job so far. He's really fit in this team, hand in glove, playing with a guy like Luka. You could not have asked for a better teammate to amplify his game. But how do you feel about Dereck so far?
I thought it was a perfect fit when they were drafted, and I kind of wanted him to become the starter. But even then, I mean, you go look at Luka's interview from the very first game. Even he was surprised at how well Lively fit. I mean, those thumbs up we were getting for Lively, those fit perfectly. He has been snug as a bug in a rug, man. I mean, this guy just automatically knows his role. It's the same thing he was doing at Duke, right? I'm not going to score that much. When I have the ball, I will look to pass. I can be an extra passer. I'm not going to turn the ball over because I'm confused or lost. I know what I'm supposed to do on any given play. I can run the pick and roll well. I'm good at setting picks, by the way, which is kind of a lost art sometimes when we discuss about bigs.
Absolutely.
But even more than that, offensively, his skill level, I think, is a little bit greater even than it sometimes gets credit for, just because he takes such a low usage role because he's playing with guards like Kyrie and Doncic. Mm-hmm. When he's on the court, defensively, when you are trying to box out, you can feel his presence. He is excellent at follow-through putbacks. Offensive rebounding, he's really good at that. And then when he's on offense himself, I think he shows a little bit greater mix of layup finishing and the ability to hit some hooks from time to time, even though you don't want that as a go-to. Just it's in his bag, which I don't always feel like I get the sense from other bigs at his age as rookies or sophomores. They don't always have that sort of skill level just tucked in there. So I think that entire package is kind of why he started immediately, and he's just been such a snug fit for the Mavericks as they've tried to make their way up in the conference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those picks in the draft to where it just makes so much sense out of the gate. And we forget sometimes that was a trade. It was the next player we're going to talk about. And Dereck Lively, those two guys those spots were swapped. And, it's worked out perfectly for both teams, the Thunder and the Mavericks. So they made that move. The Mavericks clearly knew exactly who they wanted to take. They, again, drafted for a position of need because you have Maxi Kleba there in the middle. You have Dwight Powell. There's limitations with those players. They
Yeah.
wanted a guy that could come in and be a plus rim protector, a plus rebounder, all of the things, and just be another good, young, solid player in the middle to kind of fortify the weaknesses they had from last season. The Mavericks front office are not dumb. They looked at their meltdown last season, what needed to improve, and they went out and got players that fit that mold to a T. Dereck Lively, Maxence Prosper, who not getting that much run right now, but you can see him growing into also a decent contributor, solid contributor on the wing for them. And they made a run at Thibault. That didn't work out. The Blazers matched the contract. He's staying in Portland. But even not getting him, getting Grant Williams, like they really made a key run towards guys that specifically fit what they needed. And it's paying dividends. They're right there in the playoff hunt. They're in the mix between, all the spots that are jumbled up, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going to be a tight race. But as long as Dereck Lively is healthy and he is running with those prolific guards up top, the Mavericks are going to be in a great position. Now, we'll see how he fares when the games get more, impactful, when we get to the playoffs and so on and so forth. But, to this point in the season, I just love how he's kind of adapted to the game. Of course, offensively, but defensively, just having a pretty good idea of knowing where to be, when to be at certain spots. And you mentioned the screen setting. I agree it is a lost art. Not many players do that at a really great level, but those players that you look at and you see that they rack up screen assist, you have a really great appreciation for those players because it's not easy. It's not glamorous. People aren't going to really take notice of that most times. But junkies like us, we can recognize when a guy is a great screener. It opens up so much for the Kyries of the world, the Lucas, over there in New Orleans for the Pelicans. They're doing really well right now. They have a great screen setter in Valanciunas. Across the board, if you have a great screen setter, your offense is going to be that much better for it. So that's how Dereck Lively is making such a great impact already. And one other key small note: the passing isn't bad either. He's going to have a lot of 5-on-4 advantage situations where teams are going to double Luka or double Kyrie. And he's had some flashes of knowing how to make the right pass out of the short roll and getting other guys involved. So I wanted to highlight that as well because that's really not easy for a rookie to get a grasp on right out the gate.
Absolutely. That was one of his plus points actually coming into the draft, which is why I'm pretty sure that's part of the reason analytics models liked him so much was because of his ability as a short roll passer and the fact that he was actually pretty good at making quick reads, which is really important as a short roll big passer. You don't want to just be sitting there trying to dribble as the pressure is creeping up on you. You want to kind of know where you're going to go. Not predetermining, but just being able to quickly scan the court to be able to find an open shooter. So I just think he's a perfect fit, and I think he's one of their cornerstones.
Absolutely. He's going to do great things for a long time for the Mavericks. That
Yep.
was an A+ selection, no doubt about it.